Welcome, everyone. Welcome to yoga. I am Delia. For those of you watching later who might not know, we are going to start seated today. We're going to have a nice, slow, low to the ground practice. So this is a yoga for you to feel supported. So we're going to use our props today, definitely. So I would highly recommend finding a comfortable seat where you can sit up on a bolster, or even just a folded towel under the hips can just give you that little extra lift, that little extra support in the spine. So I encourage you, if you don't have anything that you're sitting on or you don't have any props nearby, just take a moment to grab some. And then we're going to just find a little bit of movement before we come into our stillness. So maybe finding some wrist rolls, just wiggling the fingers and toes, just getting in tune a little bit with the body, maybe rolling the shoulders a couple of times. Maybe gently turning the head from side to side, or nodding it up and down. Maybe even dropping one ear to one shoulder and holding it for a breath or two, and then switching. So just some movement to help us come into the body, help us arrive here on our mat. Sometimes it can be challenging to arrive and just come into stillness right away. So this practice is for yoga so that you will feel supported. So yoga for support. So I want you to feel supported in every pose, not just by your props, but by your breath and also mentally. So if you need something in your process, if you need to take more time in a pose today than I'm holding it for, we are going to hold a little bit longer. Please do. If you need to come out of a pose, if you want to switch to another pose that's sort of similar, I'll try and give options. So this is your practice. You make it your own today. That's how you can give yourself the most support. So let's go ahead and find our stillness now, sitting up nice and tall, allowing the shoulders to drop away from the ears, maybe allowing the eyes to close or to soften. And then tuning into whatever it is you're sitting on. So in your mind, bringing your attention to your sit bones, your tailbone, and your legs. Letting them begin to feel nice and heavy. Feeling that support of any props that you're sitting on, the support of the earth underneath you. And seeing if you can release any sense of holding in the legs, any sense of clenching. So you can make any adjustments you need to. If you need a little bit of movement to let that go. We have a tendency, especially when we're sitting up nice and tall, instead of engaging the core or lifting from the belly, we have a tendency to kind of hold the knees and the legs up stiffly. So see if you can release them down into the support of the earth. And beginning to deepen the breath as you do this. And feeling your tailbone rooting down, seeing if you can drop it a little bit more. Whatever that means for you, lengthening it down towards the floor. And then finding that lift in the torso and the spine. Hugging the ribs on all sides just a little bit towards the center of your body. And tagging a little bit of weight into each elbow, letting the shoulders slide down the back. Noticing if you're clenching or holding in the fingers and toes, see if you can soften there as well. And softening the muscles of the face, the space between the eyebrows. Seeing if you can let your jaw release. And then feeling a little bit of a lift, a tiny amount of pull in the top of the head up towards the ceiling. Taking a few more deep, full breaths here. Maybe taking a moment to consider how you can offer yourself the most support in your practice today. Maybe it's just being gentle with your self-talk. Maybe it's taking a moment in a pose that you might need a prop to grab one instead of just moving on. And give yourself 2 more deep, full belly breaths here to feel the support of the earth, to feel the support of your body, the lift of the spine, and to feel the support of your breath. And then beginning to slowly find movement in the fingers and toes, maybe rolling the wrists again if that feels nice. And then allowing the eyes to open if they're still closed. And let's go ahead and squeeze the shoulders up to the ears and then allow them to roll down and back. Let's do that 2 more times. Squeeze the shoulders up, inhale, exhale, let them slide down the back. Last time, inhale, squeeze, and exhale, let them go. And then either wrap the hands around the front of the knees here, or you can also just gently use the hands to press into the tops of the thighs. So maybe moving them if you find that one's not comfortable. We're going to do a little seated cat-cow. So inhale, open the chest, maybe lift the chin, drawing the shoulder blades together. And exhale, dropping the chin towards the chest, rolling down through the spine. This might be where you want to grab hold of the front of the knees to help you get that leverage. Squeezing the belly button back towards your spine. And inhale, rolling up from the tailbone all the way up through the spine, lifting the chest, lifting the chin, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And exhale, dropping the chin nice and slow towards the chest. Belly button hugs in, really rounding the back here. Let's do one more, just like that. Inhale, rolling up through the spine. Eventually the chin will lift. Squeeze your shoulder blades together to open the chest. And exhale, chin draws to chest, rounding through. We're going to grow this movement a little bit. So coming back up to neutral. When we inhale this time, you're perfectly welcome to stay with what we were doing. If you want to add the arms, we're going to inhale and open them nice and wide, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And exhale, pull the belly button in and pull the hands towards each other as you tuck the chin. Inhale, open. And exhale, round. Let's do one more. Inhale, open. And exhale, round. And then go ahead and come back to your neutral spine. Release the hands. Let's inhale, reach. And exhale, we're just going to find a gentle twist to the right. So left hand can come to the right leg. Right hand can come behind the hip. And think more about lifting and lengthening from the spine. So feel that support under the tailbone again. Moving up the spine, feeling that gentle pull at the top of the head. And then think about twisting a little bit, pulling that right shoulder back. Give it one more breath here. And then nice and slow, come back to center. Use your belly, your muscles of your core here. So feel as if you're rotating from the core. That'll give you some support in the spine. Let's inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, gentle twist to the left. And again, before you come very far into your twist, check in with your spine. So start at the tailbone, moving up, feeling it lengthen, hugging the belly button in so you can get that lift. And then think about twisting gently, pulling that left shoulder back. Notice if your knees have started to creep up, see if you can release them. And then from your center, from the core, start to rotate back to center, nice and slow. All right, let's come into our table, and we're actually going to head right into child's pose. So we're just coming off of our seat, actually, not directly into table. And I encourage you to take a supported child's pose today. So I'm going to use my bolster. You can feel free to just use a block or two under the forehead if you'd like. If you have a bolster or if you have a stack of pillows or a blanket, you can take supported child's pose over that. So I'm taking the big toes to touch. My knees are as wide as my yoga mat. And I'm going to scoot my bolster all the way back so that it's directly touching my thighs. And then I'm going to drape my front body over the bolster. So it's not always comfortable for everyone to be face down on whatever you're laying on. So you can just have one ear on it, and I'll let you know when to switch. Or you can switch on your own whenever it feels comfortable. So finding that support of your prop. Just letting the body release. Tuning back into the rhythm of your breath, that underlying support for the whole practice. Feeling your hips grow a little bit heavier, your tailbone is dropping down, even if you're not moving at all. Releasing anything you're holding on to, just letting the props support you. And seeing if you can feel the breath moving in all four sides of the torso. So feeling it in the sides of the rib cage and the back body, just as much as the front. Let's take 2 more breaths on this side. And if you had one ear down on your bolster or your pillow or your block, go ahead and switch ears. Using as little muscle power as possible to maintain this pose, really seeing if you can surrender. Deep, deep, full breaths. If your forehead is down, it might feel nice to rock your head a little gently. Let's take one more deep, deep breath here. And then nice and slow, use your hands, use that arm strength to help you push back up. And go ahead and slide your props aside. Make sure they don't go too far. We're going to use them for later poses. And now we will come into our table. So from table, we're going to go ahead and thread the needle here. So keeping your left hand planted with the fingers spread wide, we're going to inhale, reach the right hand up. And exhale, we're just going to dip that right hand under the left. So we're not coming into our pose quite yet, just getting a stretch through the back. Inhale to lift. And exhale, dip that hand under. One more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale. This time we're going to thread the needle. So right arm goes under the left, releasing the right side of the head to the mat here. You can also use a block. Even if the floor doesn't feel far away, you can always try it with a block and see how that feels to you. Giving yourself some extra support today if you need it. Imagine drawing that right hip a little bit back. Breathing into the opening space in the back of that right shoulder, in the left side of the rib cage. Maybe using the back of that right arm to gently press against the floor, allowing you to open the chest a little bit more, but softening the neck as much as you can. Give it one more deep breath here. And if you had that left hand extended, slowly pull it back. Use the support of your hand against the floor to help you come out of this pose. Coming back to our table, and we'll take the other side. So right hand stays planted this time. Inhale, left fingertips reach. And exhale, just dip that left hand under. And inhale to reach and extend. And exhale, dip that hand under. One more time. Left arm reaches. And exhale. Now we're going into our thread the needle. Left arm under the bridge of the right. Releasing the head down if that's comfortable to a block or to the floor. Pressing that left hip back just a little bit. Breathing into the support of your mat, of the block. Releasing tension wherever possible in the neck, in the shoulders. Deep, deep, full breaths here. Give it one more deep breath. And then slowly draw that right hand back if it was extended. Use it to help you unwind. Press back up to table. And you can go ahead and move your block aside. And we're going to come down onto our belly. So take your time. You shouldn't need any props down on your belly. You should be okay as is. But of course, listen to your body. So if you ever want a towel or anything underneath you, you can. So we're going to release the forehead to the mat. We're going to draw the palms underneath the shoulders. So they're actually a little bit further back than the shoulders, right about the area of the top of your rib cage, the chest. We're going to press our hip bones down, press the tops of the feet in. Hug your shoulder blades together. And we're going to do some baby cobra rolls. So on the inhale, rolling up through the spine, elbows are drawing back towards your feet, chest and forehead lift. And exhale, rolling down. Inhale, rolling up. And exhale, release. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, rolling up, drawing the elbows and shoulders away from the ears. And exhale, lowering down. And inhale, coming up. And exhale, release. So let's come up almost like Sphinx here. We're going to take the elbows out under the shoulders, just so we can transition into what is sometimes called in yin styles, the Spider-Man pose. So I'm going to bend my left knee, and I'm going to take it out at about a 90-degree angle. If you can't get it up that far, if you can't get the knee up and out that far, that's okay. But you're working to kind of get it up and out so it's bent. So the knee is coming out kind of at a 90-degree angle from the hip. And then the bottom of the leg, the lower leg, is bent at a 90-degree angle as well. And then I'm just going to take my right arm across my mat and stack my left palm on top. And I'm going to release the right side of my head to my hands. And then I'm going to try and release any tension I'm holding on to. This is a really gentle hip opener. So just breathing here. Once again, feeling the support of your mat. Feeling that steady support of the earth beneath you. Knowing that this is a safe place to just release anything you're holding on to. Taking deep, full belly breaths. And let's take one more breath on this side. And then nice and slow, use your hands to help you here. We're going to take the arms back up to Sphinx, and we're going to release that leg, but go ahead and keep the knee bent. So our elbows are under our shoulders. You're pressing the elbows down, pressing the forearms down, thinking about dragging the elbows back so that you're kind of pulling the chest forward. And then maybe just turning that right hand towards the center again, bringing the left hand to the outside and looking over your shoulder. You're pressing that you're pressing the left hip down towards the mat. If you want to go a little further and get a quad stretch as well, you can reach your left hand back for your left foot. And here you're still pressing that left hip down. Breathing wherever you are. Give it one more breath. And slowly release the foot if you had hold of it. Go ahead and come back to center. Come back to your Sphinx. One breath here. Press the elbows down, lift the chest. Press your hip bones down. And we'll take our Spider-Man pose on the other side. So that left hand is swinging over to the over to the right. One day I'll remember my right and left. We're taking that right knee out to the side in a 90-degree angle, or as close to it as you can get. And we're stacking that right hand on top, releasing the left side of the head down to the hands. Making any adjustments you need so you can feel comfortable, so you can release into this pose, so you don't feel like you're pressing away from the floor or holding yourself up. Give it 2 more deep breaths here. And then slowly start to come out of it. We're going to release that right leg back. We're going to keep the knee bent. And I'm going to go ahead and keep that left hand across over to the right. And if you'd like, you can just take the right hand back and look over the right shoulder. If you want a little more, if you want that quad stretch, go ahead and grab your right foot and press that right hip down. So make sure you're hugging the shoulder away from the ear. So you're getting a bit of a shoulder stretch here as well. And you're pressing your hip bones down. You're not actually trying to lift that knee at all. Take one more breath wherever you are. And then slowly release that right foot if you had hold of it. Come back to your Sphinx one more time. Really press the hip bones down, press the shoulders away from the ears. You can stay here if you want a little deeper back bend. Maybe walk your hands out to the top corners of your mat. Lift the elbows about an inch or two. Coming into seal. Really pressing your tailbone down towards your feet. Pressing your hip bones into the mat. Take one more breath. And then slowly release. Go ahead and draw the hands back underneath the shoulders. We're going to press back up to table. And then from our table, an option here. So you may just want to take puppy pose to get more of an opening in the chest. I'm going to move into down dog. It's our only down dog of the practice, and we're not actually going to come up to standing. We're going to come back down afterwards. So it's your choice if you want to come into puppy pose or child's pose instead. Please do. I'm going to curl my toes under, lift my hips up and back. So finding my down dog, spreading my fingers wide, rolling my elbow creases forward as I pull my shoulders away from my ears. So I'm sort of turning and rotating my upper arm bones outwards. And to get that rotation in the hands in the opposite direction, I'm pressing into my index finger and thumb. Maybe taking your dog for a little walk here. Bending one knee and then the other. Maybe shaking the head a little yes and no. If you're in child's pose or puppy posture, just breathing wherever you are, maybe rocking the forehead a little on the mat. And if you're in down dog, go ahead and press way up onto your toes. And then bend your knees a lot. And then press your heels down, press the chest back. 2 more times. Inhale, lift way up onto the toes. Bend the knees. And then press the heels down, send the hips and chest back. Last time. Lift way up onto the toes. Bend the knees generously. And then press the heels back. Let's go ahead and release back down into our table. If you need to pad the knees, please do. So a blanket or a towel will work really well to support your knees here. We're going to go into a lunge series. So from table, we're going to inhale, extend that right leg back, lifting from the inner thigh. Exhale, squeeze the knee to the nose, round the back. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, squeeze. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, squeeze. Let's step that right foot forward. And we're going to come up with the hands on the thigh. So make any adjustments you need to here. We're going to pull that right hip crease back so that the hips are squared. And I'm going to really try and tuck my tailbone down, lifting up through the spine. And it's almost like I'm pressing that left hip forward a little bit. So we're just going to stay here. If this is not enough for you, you can begin to bend a little bit more, pressing the hips down, but really keeping that tailbone tucked, really keeping that length in the spine. Giving it one more breath here. And then we're going to start to reverse into our runner's lunge. So go ahead and release the hands towards the mat. We're going to send the hips back. And I'm going to kind of wiggle my foot, my right foot forward a couple of inches and flex the toes up towards the ceiling. So maybe this is enough for you. Maybe you want to stay here. If you want to try a little bit of a deeper stretch, you can fold a little bit, tucking the chin. If you need to use blocks, hands, if the floor feels far away, please do. And if you even want to go a little further than that, I'm going to take my right hand so it's inside of my right leg. So both my hands are now on the inside. And I'm going to walk them a little bit over to the left. And I'm going to send my hips back so I'm lifting out of my lower back. And then I'm going to fold. You can use a block here as well. Definitely keep a bend in that knee if you need to. Toes are flexed. Breathing wherever you are. Even if you're not folded down very far, feel like you're lifting out of the back. Finding a gentle tuck of the chin for one more breath. And then slowly start to walk the hands back, bend into that right knee, and as gracefully as possible, go ahead and take it back to table. Let's take the knees together, big toes to touch. Go ahead and drop the hips to the right, look over your left shoulder, both knees stay down. And come back to center. Drop the hips left, look over the right shoulder. And come back to center. Separate the knees so they're hip distance now. And we'll take that lunge sequence on the other side. So inhale, extend the left leg back, lift from the inner thigh. Exhale, squeeze the knee to round back. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. One more time. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, squeeze to the nose. And then let's step that left foot up. And coming up, hands can come to the thigh. And take any necessary movements you need here. Imagine squaring those hips so the right hip is facing just as much forward as the left. Tucking the tailbone, really tucking it. So you may feel that already. I'm feeling it in the glute. I'm feeling it in the front of my thigh, all along the front of the hip. And this is enough for me on this side. If you need a little bit more, maybe scooching that front foot a little further forward to give you the space to open the front of that hip a little bit more by leaning forward. But keeping that length in the spine if you're doing that, keeping that tuck of the tailbone. Give it one more breath wherever you are. And then we're going to come into our half splits, our runner's lunge. So releasing the hands down, taking your time, moving nice and slow here, grabbing blocks if you need them. I'm going to scoot my foot a little bit forward, and I'm going to flex the toes up towards the ceiling. And this may be enough for you. This may be enough of a hamstring stretch. If so, maybe just lengthening the spine and finding a little fold over the leg. If you want to go a little bit further, I'm going to walk both hands to the right side of my mat. And I'm going to press my hips back as I reach my hands to the right. And I'm going to find a little fold from there. So absolutely keeping a bend in your knee in any version of this pose. You can be more upright than me. Your hands can be up on blocks at any height. Give it one more breath wherever you are. And then slowly start to walk the hands back. Go ahead and rebend into that knee and take it back to table. Let's take the knees together, big toes to touch. And drop the hips to the left, look over your right shoulder. And come back to center. Drop the hips right, look over the left shoulder. And come back to center. And we're going to find a seat. So go ahead and grab one block. And we're going to come into our cobbler's pose or our butterfly pose with the soles of the feet together, our knees wide. And we're going to slide the feet a little bit further away from us today. So we're going to take a nice big diamond in the legs. And I'm going to take my block right onto my feet. I'm going to keep it on the highest setting. If this isn't comfortable for you, you don't have to use the block. I like it because when your head is supported, it gives your body the signal to release more. So you can just kind of relax into the pose. So we're going to inhale and lengthen the spine. And on your exhale, start to bend from the waist, hinging at the hips here, releasing the forehead down to the block. And arms can just be loose and open with the palms facing up or down. So we're not trying to press into this. We're not trying to really press the knees down or open here. We're just trying to release to gravity. It's okay if you have a rounding in the back. Breathing into the back body. Seeing if you can find places to soften even more. Give it 2 more deep belly breaths here. Seeing if you can feel that expansion on all 4 sides of the torso again. And then slowly using the strength of your hands, your arms here to walk yourself back. And go ahead and move that block aside. And we're going to come down onto our back. So go ahead and find any props that you think you're going to need for Shavasana. We're not going to use any final props for the rest of our poses, for the rest of our practice, but I would encourage you to maybe get up and grab a bolster for under the knees or for supported fish, maybe some blocks for under the knees if you want reclined cobbler, any supported version of Shavasana today. So let's come down onto our back. And when you arrive, just take the feet as wide as your mat and do some windshield wipers with the knees, releasing any stress or tension in the low back. And then take the feet back to hip distance apart. Let's go ahead and hug that right knee into the chest. Maybe take a couple of ankle circles here. Make sure you go in both directions. And then we're going to kind of build this pose a little bit. So step one is just to drag that right knee out towards the right shoulder. So we're opening that hip up, maybe just keeping the knee bent here as it is. Just encouraging it to open. If you want to come into half happy baby, maybe releasing the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling, opening the leg a little bit more and holding on behind the knee or the thigh. If you want to come into the pose a little bit more, you can grab hold of the ankle or the foot. You can also absolutely use a strap here. That left foot is still planted on the mat with the knee bent. And deep, deep, full belly breaths, imagining that right knee could come down and brush the floor. Maybe staying here. If you want a little bit more intensity for 1 or 2 breaths, you can slide that left leg long. If you're sliding that left leg long, make sure you're pressing the thigh down towards the mat. You're flexing the foot. Even if the back of the leg doesn't touch, that's okay. Give it 1 more breath wherever you are. And then go ahead and rebend that left knee if the leg was extended. And we're going to cross our right ankle over our left thigh and let that right knee come out to the side. Excuse me. Maybe this is enough for you here. Maybe just gently pressing the right hand into the right thigh to encourage that right knee to open. Or maybe you'd like to thread the needle here. You can use a strap or your hands, grabbing hold of that left knee or thigh, maybe interlacing the fingers behind, flexing the right foot. And if both feet are lifted, go ahead and flex them both. You can rock a little here, side to side, very small movement. Breathing into that right hip. Softening the shoulders, softening the face, softening the arms as much as you can. Give it 1 more deep, deep, full breath here. And then go ahead and release the hands or the strap if you are holding that leg. Release the left foot to the mat, and we're going to hug that right knee into the chest again and extend the left leg long. We're going to take our supine twist from here. So inhale and center, exhale, start to take that right knee over to the left. That right hip's going to lift, and the right shoulder is going to stay on the floor. You can extend the right arm out or take a half cactus if that feels good. Breathing here, you can tip the chin to look to the right if that feels comfortable on your neck. And give it one more deep, deep breath wherever you are. And then take the head back to center if it was turned. Slowly bring that right knee back to center as well. Release the right foot to the mat. Go ahead and bend the left knee. Take your feet as wide as your yoga mat and do some windshield wipers with the knees, nice and slow. And when you're ready, we will take the other side. So bring the feet back to hip distance. Go ahead and hug that left knee into the chest. Take a couple of ankle circles here. And then if you want, just open that left knee out to the side as much as feels comfortable. You're trying to draw that left knee down. Maybe keeping the leg bent, or maybe coming into your half happy baby, any version that feels comfortable to you. Allowing that hip to gently open. And deep, full belly breaths here. You can also extend that right leg long if you'd like a little bit more. Flexing the right foot, pressing that right thigh down. Wherever you are, give it one more deep breath. And then rebend that right knee. Release the left foot or the leg. Go ahead and cross that left ankle over the right thigh. Take that left knee out to the side. Maybe staying here, maybe gently pressing into that left inner thigh with the left hand. Left toes are flexed. If you want to move into your reclined pigeon, go ahead. Using a strap behind the knee can be nice as an arm extender. You can also just hold on to that right behind the right knee or thigh. Feet are flexed. Maybe rocking a little side to side here. Softening the shoulders, softening the arms, the face on an exhale. Seeing if you can breathe into that left hip. Give it one more deep breath wherever you are. And then slowly release the hands or the strap if you were holding on. Release that right foot to the floor. We're going to hug the left knee into the chest and extend that right leg long. Inhale here. Exhale, start to take that left knee across over to the right. Left hip is lifting, but left shoulder is staying on the mat. Coming into your supine twist, your final pose of your practice before Shavasana. Softening where you can, taking some deep, deep breaths into the left side of the body. And give it one more deep, deep breath here. And then nice and slow, start to come back to center. Release that left foot to the mat, rebend the right knee. Maybe take your windshield wipers one last time. And then take a moment here to decide how you would be best supported in Shavasana. So maybe rolling to one side and pressing up if you need to grab a prop. I'm going to grab my bolster. So considering what final resting pose will best support you in your practice today, I'm going to take reclined fish. So supported fish, I guess all fish is reclined. So I'm going to take my bolster and I'm actually going to take a block underneath it so that it's kind of at an angle here with the top part lifted. And I'm going to take the back of my hips, my low back right up against the bolster. And then I'm going to release. And I'm going to take my legs into butterfly or cobbler. So if this is not a comfortable pose for you, finding any other version that feels better, any other pose, you can just take a traditional Shavasana with the legs extended. You can take a block under each knee or a bolster. So finding any comfortable final resting pose. Really giving yourself one last chance to feel supported by your props, by your mat, by your practice. Allowing the eyes to soften or close when you found your comfortable Shavasana. And let's all take a deep, deep, full breath in through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. 2 more times. Deep, deep, full breath in. Long letting go, sigh out. And last time, really breathe with your whole body, fill the belly. And exhale, let everything go. And sighing a few more times if that will help support the body more. And gradually allowing your breath to return to its natural rhythm. Feeling the weight of your body on the mat. Feeling the support of your props beneath you. Feeling the unwavering support of the earth. And using these last few moments to help digest your practice, almost as if you've just eaten a full big meal. And letting everything settle. Knowing that this is a safe space to release anything you're holding on to and to invite in new energy. Slowly beginning to bring your attention back to your breath. Slowly beginning to deepen each inhale and lengthen each exhale. Feeling that support of the breath as you begin to find little movements in the fingers and toes. Maybe very gently rocking the head from side to side. And just taking a pause here to notice how you're feeling, to consider whether a longer Shavasana would offer you more support today. If you'd like to stay where you are, please do. If you're ready to move into the rest of your day, go ahead and bending the knees, maybe taking one final set of windshield wipers or knees to the chest, and then making your way onto one side. If you're up on a prop or a bolster, just rolling off of it and coming back to a comfortable seat. When you arrive, sitting up nice and tall, the shoulders to fall away from the ears. Just noticing how you're feeling at the end of your practice. If it's comfortable, drawing the hands together at the heart, taking a moment to give thanks for your time on the mat today, for your breath, for each other, for all of us in our community. I thank you so much for supporting me, for supporting yoga, for helping me to support you. Have a lovely rest of your week. Namaste.